and they've got another event to go to, and then we're going to work our way around the ring. So we'll just basically do one after another coming up to speak. So first I'll welcome Kevin J. Johnson up to the microphone.
Thank you. I really appreciate this. Thank you. I'm glad you're come very much. Hello, Calgary. My name is Kevin J. Johnston. You've heard me call myself Calgary Mayor-elect. Yes, I feel for sure I'm going to win this race. I'll tell you why. Because I am the only mayoral candidate who's actually fighting for your freedom. There will be no more mask mandates the day that I take office. There will be no vaccine passports because they are unconstitutional and against the charter and 100% illegal. If you do not want a needle in your arm, you're going to have the freedom to say no. You have to all remember that bylaws in the city of Calgary do not pertain to we the people. They only pertain to those who work for the city. I'm going to get them all to stand down so that everybody in the city of Calgary has the freedom of choice that they deserve. Your freedom is not the government's to take away. Ergo, I'm not giving it back to you. I'm simply going to defend what you already have. My name is Kevin J. Johnston. Yes, you guys have heard every wild story about me. They've called me racist. They've called me Islamophobic. They've called me everything. And do you know why that is? It's because I have exposed numerous politicians all over this country. I'm an investigative journalist, not a politician. In fact, I'm not a fan of politicians. They don't like me. That relationship goes just fine with me, let me tell you. You want to have somebody in office who is not an experienced thief. We have way too many corrupt individuals in office now. That is countrywide. I'm going to get in there and clean that up. I have already found $50 million of misappropriated funds, stolen money inside the city of Calgary. I'm going to find more. And I'm moving it back into infrastructure, and I'm moving it back into snow removal, and I'm putting it back into your pockets, Calgary, in the way of tax credits and in the way of reduced property tax. It doesn't take a genius to do this. It just takes somebody with a spine, and I guarantee you I've got spine enough to fix this town. Please, on October the 18th, make sure that I am the mayor of Calgary so that we can have Calgary be exactly what it was back in the 1980s, the best city in North America. Thank you very much, Kevin J. Johnston. You can visit me online at calgarymayor.co. Calgary, I love you all. Thank you. I appreciate this. Thank you so much. All right.
I'd like to next call up.
So, hey guys.
I would like to next call up Jeff Davison to speak next, please.
So we're just going to hang over here now, guys, because we did state that we were actually off the field. And we'll see what this picks.
Can I get Jeff Davison up next, please?
All right. Yes, sir.
Thank you for everyone in the community that's watching right now online. We appreciate that everybody's tuned in. We have some great mayor candidates about to speak, so keep watching along.
I didn't know I was coming up here.
The speaker's just not that loud, so I said I'm just going to go basically in order down the line. I just wiped it off, so yes.
All right, well, how do I follow that, eh? Hello, everybody. My name's Jeff Davison. I'm the current city councilor for Ward 6, and I'm now running to be your next mayor. It's a real simple plan. I'm focused on the economy. I'm focused on putting jobs back together for Calgary and serving the wonderful community of Ward 3. You know, Ward 3 is a lot like an island out here. Louder? Is that better? Scared to get this close to it.
Hey, Jeff, I give lessons.
Yeah, Kevin gives lessons, everybody, so just, you know. Thanks very much for having me. Thanks to the Communities of Ward 3 for putting this on today. It's great to get out and meet everybody. Stop by the tent, grab a brochure. Happy to talk a little bit more about what we're all about. But I'm here, honestly, to put our economy back together, grow jobs, and bring hope back to Calgarians. I think that's the big thing we're missing. We've got to change the narrative in this city. It's one of the greatest cities in the world. Let's make it that way again. I'm Jeff Davison. I'm here to be your next mayor.
Took me by surprise. Yeah. It just doesn't carry very far.
Yeah. I feel like we should walk it around.
Yeah. Maybe move it to the middle.
Next up, Zane Novak, please.
That's Jeromy Farkas. He's supposed to wear a mask on the top. With the whole thing. Wow.
Thank you very much to the community for having us out here. This is certainly, I'm Zane Novak, and I'm running to be your next mayor on October 18th. This has certainly been the most difficult campaign in imagination to run, between the economy, toxic politics at every level, and a pandemic. So I thank you to communities like this who have taken extraordinary steps for us to be able to get out, talk to you, engage. My tent's over there, my brochure's over there, some of my volunteer staff is over there. The biggest reason I'm doing this is my background is small and large business, but I've also put about 20,000 plus hours into our nonprofit community. So it's given me a unique perspective of this city and what it takes for all Calgarians to be able to move forward. If our City Hall is not run properly, our at-risk communities suffer. In fact, we all suffer. In the last 3 or 4 years, the Calgary budget has gone up by 30%. And we see that there are 3 incumbents here, or there are some incumbents here, who are running for office, and it's happened under their mandate. How many Calgarians have seen their budgets go up 30 to 40% in the last 4 years? We need to change the direction this city is going, and we need to do it now. And we need to do it with a plan, and not just the low-hanging fruit of, oh, I'm going to change regulation, or I'm going to cut taxes. Those are great things. They need to be done, but you need a plan to do them. If you go to my website, zaneformayor.ca, you'll see that I have a plan. I have things like gain share, managed competition, biannual reviews, my plan for our minority communities, our ethnic communities, and also our geographic communities, called participatory budgeting, which will bring vibrancy to this city. We see here in Ward 3 many of the things that they need. This whole city needs things like a field house. How is it that a city of 1.5 million people has no field houses, but Edmonton up the road, 900,000, has 2 or 3 of them? We've missed the mark with our city management for years. I plan to change that. I'm Zane Novak. Please vote for me on October 18th. And thank you to North Hills community for having me here.
Moving down the line, Damery, please. By the way, we did not get the massive turnout we were expecting, so we're not going to be enforcing masks. Social distancing is required under Alberta regulations. The masks are not. We were asking for that simply because of the volume of people we were hoping for, but most are actually watching the event online. So just in case you're questioning, some aren't wearing masks. We're not enforcing it simply because we don't have the crowds that it's required, but you are expected to social distance.
Thanks so much, David. And thank you to David and the Northern Hills Community Association for bringing us all together. David, when did we meet first time? A couple of weeks ago when I was out here, you toured me around to hear some of the issues and very much understanding how under-resourced this ward has been. And one of the key reasons I'm running for mayor of this great city is to ensure that we actually start connecting our 4 quadrants and making sure that we actually look at the equity, particularly in the north. I'm Jamery. I'm running for mayor, and it's out of a deep sense of gratitude for the opportunity this city has provided me, both personally and professionally. I'm also paying it back and paying it forward for our kids and our future generations. My husband and I, we have a 24-year-old son who left this city a year ago because he could not get a job here, did not see opportunity here. Together, we need to turn that narrative around. And how we do that is with fresh perspective and real leadership. I'm going to offer to you right now that the current councillors running for mayor do not deserve a promotion. They have been divisive, ineffective, have kicked issues down the road, introduced half measures, and what I hear from people knocking on doors is they haven't delivered. We need true leadership. We need someone committed to action. And this is what I've learned. In times of crisis, there is just great opportunity to pave a new path forward. I'm an economist, I'm a business executive, I'm an executive in the not-for-profit sector, and most importantly, I'm a coalition builder. I have a reputation for bringing people together, diverse people together, to get things done, big things done. And together, I believe we can generate 80,000 new jobs. We do that by turning downtown into a neighborhood. We get young people by investing and supporting our post-secondaries to fill up that office space downtown, so we're graduating thousands of tech and digital graduates. What that also does is it starts to attract workforces and also helps to feed the talent pipeline that many of our grassroots local entrepreneurs need to actually grow and scale their businesses. How do I know this? I've been coaching startup CEOs in our tech sector for the last 4 years. And it is talent, and it's also making sure we've got to revitalize downtown, where there are things to do for our youth and our kids and our young workers. They get excited, they want to be here. Because remember that 24-year-old in my family? I want him to come home. So this is about opportunity. It's about taking meaningful action on climate change. It's by holding our own selves accountable and meeting those emission targets. You'll find a very detailed platform and incentives on how to do that. It's about ensuring, too, that we create and have a vibrant arts and entertainment committee. So I am committed to infrastructure. Many people ask me, am I pro arena event center? Absolutely. Because this is what we've got to lever to create a vibrant streetscape that also revitalizes our downtown, and it gives us all a reason to come together. Most importantly, we have an opportunity to restore the heart and soul of our community by including everyone in our recovery. It is about removing barriers to employment, to those that are settling in our communities, and it's about ensuring that we have safety for all. I'm Damery. I'm running for mayor because I believe we together can build back better than before. It's about ensuring that we all have opportunity. Thanks so much, and I look forward to earning your support.
Okay, I'm just moving down the line here, so I think Ian is next.
No.
Ian Chiang.
David. Hi, everybody. First of all, some of my friends asked me not to run for mayor because I should be enjoying my life, my retirement life. But I do not want to get into the comfort zone because I want to give back to the society with my time and energy. And I'm glad that some of the candidates here acknowledge my sincerity and integrity. Thank you very much. And if you refer to my website, I have 15 points on my platform. The most important thing is the one that I'm going to revitalize the economy of Calgary. But I have 3 plans to bring the job back to Calgary. But right now, this is not the time to discuss them until the final TV debate. And I also want to improve the traffic flow and the transportation system in Calgary. I have been here for 34 years. Every day I drive in and drive out of this city, I see that there are a lot of places that need a lot of improvement. They don't need to be very expensive way to do it. Just some simple ideas. So once my ideas are implemented, the traffic will flow better. We will have a cleaner air environment. We are going to use less gas. And I am supporting the oil and gas industry of Alberta or in Calgary. Because I come from the engineering field. So with my engineering background, I think I can work better in a way. My door will be open, but I won't be there. Don't find me there. I will be outside everywhere in the city, just to go over all the projects in Calgary. And I want to make Calgary the food center of Western Canada, the manufacturer center of Western Canada. Because Calgary is the sunniest city with 333 days of sunshine in the year. We are better than Edmonton. They have 300. So with this, we have good people like you. We have good soil on the ground. We have good weather in the sky. Except that we may have 3 or 4 months of long winter, but we can make it work even in winter with a greenhouse gas or in a greenhouse. So because I am doing gardening, I know how to produce more food for my family, for my friends and my neighbors. So I'm going to teach most of the people in Calgary how to do it. Okay, thank you very much.
I think the next one down the line is Emile Gabriel. Dr. Gabriel.
Well, hello everybody and welcome. My name is Emile Gabriel, running to be your next mayor. I ran before in 2017 and we spoke to many people in Ward 3, and I know and understand the issues here, including transportation and the lack of areas for meetings. Now a little bit background about me. I have 20 years experience in management. I have a degree in management from the University of Calgary. I have a civil engineering degree and knowledge and experience in transportation and urban planning. So this is the qualification that I have that encouraged me to run to be your next mayor. So let me now tell you what I can do for you, or what I would like to do for you. The first thing, which is the most important issue, how to run the council. Based on my knowledge in management, and everybody running for a council here better listen to me. What I'm going to do, I'm going to send every councillor out to their wards. You need to go out and inform the people, educate the people, have discussions, have debates, find the consensus, and come back and report the wishes of the people, not your own opinion. If you think you can come back, report your own opinion, or whoever supporting you, donor or interest group, my advice to you, under my leadership, you better keep your day job. So that's the important thing, how we're going to manage the council, and how the council going to function under my leadership. The second thing I'd like to speak to you about is the arena deal. That's one of the things that you're going to find on my platform. The arena deal is a bad deal, costing the taxpayer almost $300 million. Now, I'm not a kind of candidate who say no to things. I provide an alternative. So in your Ward 3 here, at the southern part of the ward, you have a parcel of land called Aurora Park. Aurora Park. I have a proposal, you find it on my website, that we can have and build a field house in Aurora Park. This Aurora Park is a parcel of land belongs to the city. So instead of small arena in Victoria Park, we can build a bigger arena and a stadium, because the people who own the Flames, they also own the Stampede. And they're looking for a new home for McMahon Stadium. So I'm offering them to have a good piece of land in Aurora Park to build a state-of-the-art field house. They can do any other projects, but the taxpayer under this arrangement pay $0. We need to save those $300 million for other things to help. They have so many projects we need to help, including helping the poor and the vulnerable in our society. The last thing I'd like to speak to you about is transportation.
No, you're already over 3 minutes.
Okay, so quickly, transportation. I will be the candidate who championed the fast train between Edmonton and Calgary. This fast train, we call it the bullet train, very fast. This is going to help us to protect the environment, save you time and money. And I'm going to use the same concept as a person who have engineering background and urban planning to extend the idea of having fast train, taking advantage of our ring road, so we can continue to have fast trains in our city and improve our transportation, and that's going to serve your wards as well. Thank you for listening. Come and visit me in my table.
The next one, can't make out, Mizanur. We're basically just working our way around the field. It's the order we're going in. Virginia Stone's down here. She doesn't have a setup, so she'll actually be going next, and then we'll continue along the way.
Hi, everybody. I have only 3 minutes. That's why I bring the paper here. There are so many young people here. I'm for you. I'm running for the mayor, not to become a mayor, to make you the mayor. That's my philosophy. So first of all, I would like to congratulate and thanks for the people, those who hard work done in order to have a successful this event. Thank you very much, Mr. David. So I would like to know that why we are 28 mayoral candidate. Anybody can say that why 28? This is the history in Calgary. Never been like this quantity of mayoral candidate, because this is a protest. We have an unfair system is going on a very long time. We need to have a chance. Young people need to have a come forward and sit on the public chair. That's why I'm just running for that. And the mayoral candidates election is not very long from today. But I like to know that one thing is that how our electoral system is so unfair, because it gives the chances the people, those who are sitting on the public chair, like a councillor, they are running for the higher position by leveraging their position in order to have attract the donor, in order to attract the sponsor, in order to attract all kinds of media, and nobody call us. So the reason is that leveraging, we need to have a stop. That's why we need to have a change our electoral system. This system, young people like you, everybody, I'm just talking, that this system, if we don't change, then nobody will be putting and sitting in the public chair. So this is the first things that I would like to have a change if I will become a mayor. Second is that, you see right now, because the downtown looks like a ghost town. What's happened? It's not a COVID. It's the before the COVID comes, then our downtown was a ghost town. It is our dysfunctional city council. This is the dysfunctional city council does not run properly. That's why we have right now, we put our hand in our rainy days, which is 154 is our threshold. We cannot get it. When our next administration coming, we don't have any money for that. So we need to have a chance, our electoral system and corrupted people, those who are sitting on the public chair, we need to have a chance. You see, few days before, just yesterday, we saw the video. Our councillor sitting on the public chair, taking our public money and running for the MP. And catch by the camera, caught by the camera. What's happened? What kind of people they are sitting on the public chair? Please don't do that. Okay, and I would like to know that I'm running for you to make the mayor. I have a plan how I do that. First of all, I try to have a local business to increase. The policy, they made it very much wrong. They said the local business, but they're not increasing, they're not promoting their local business. So this is one point. Second is that no more property tax will be increased, because the property tax is 67%. They occupied our budget. So I will significantly reduce the property tax, but I will bring one new tax which is called the council tax. Every individual person, those who have a house or not, does not matter, because they have to pay, because the city give all of these services. Without money, you cannot do that. So that's why I'm bringing, except the low-income people and low-income senior people though. So first of all, and all life matter. Human life does not have any race. So I deserve your support. Please, 18th of October, and you people deserve to sit in the public chair. That's why I'm paving the way. Thank you very much for everybody though.
Virginia Stone.
Good evening, and excuse the lack of shoes, but I fear my legacy would be rolling down this hill if I hadn't taken them off. I'd like to thank you all very much for investing your very valuable time with us here today. Better? Great. So, just to let you all know, I am very much a non-conformist, and I am here to disrupt the status quo. And I am here to run as the people's next mayor. I am neither left, nor right, or central for that matter, and I simply refuse to be placed upon a dysfunctional, linear political scale. I am first and foremost going to stop the bleeding in this city. We must stop the excessive, irresponsible spending. We must lower business taxes and lower property taxes. And yes, this is possible if we cut the fat from our budget and reprioritize. We must halt these very overinflated legacy projects, and we must take care of our people. To do that, we have got to focus on business. Business is the cornerstone of our communities in this city. It is unacceptable that we have over 30% vacancy rate in our downtown core. It is unacceptable that we have overtaxed businesses to the point that they are leaving, and we have become a no-fly zone, and we are not getting investment in our city. I am a serial entrepreneur. I have been building international businesses for more than 25 years, and I understand the importance of it. On top of that, we must absolutely bring in affordable housing to our city. We need to emulate Europe. We need to bring in affordable, social, community housing, and this can be done very well with the right leadership. We must bring in strong food security with my Grow Food Save Alberta initiative that is already getting attention not only provincially, but even into the United States. We must also attack our homelessness problem. This has been 2 decades of a serious issue that nobody is addressing, and it's easy to address. And I'm going to do this with my Citizens Without Residence initiative. On top of that, I'm going to convert all of our garbage, all of our recycling, and even our medical needles into energy. And we're going to put that energy right back into our grid. There are many initiatives in my social impact strategy. You can go to virginiaformayor.com to learn more about those, or I implore you all to please go to polity.vote, and you will see all of the policies that all of the candidates running for mayor are supporting, and get yourself educated, because the media is not covering some very great, very strong leaders in this campaign race. So if you have any questions, please reach out. I speak to everybody one-on-one, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. If you want the same old, we all know who you can vote for. But if you seriously want change and you want a leader that's actually going to step up for you, that's going to make those hard decisions, and that's not going to be conforming, then please vote Virginia Stone. Thank you.
Yeah, I heard that.
Next up will be Brad Field, please. As Brad's coming up, I just want everyone to be aware we've had a number of mayoral candidates that actually have taken tours of Ward 3. They're both 60 to 90 minutes long, showing some of the deficiencies as well as some of the great things that we've done on our own through volunteer initiatives. So any mayor candidates that want a tour, please make sure that you reach out to me or talk to our table. We'll make sure we get your contact. But these tours give you the opportunity to really see firsthand what previous council decisions have done to Ward 3 and now starting to apply to Ward 2 as well. But yeah, it's quite a, we've turned it into a 40-page document that's a living document that keeps growing so that we can actually pay attention to what we need in Ward 3. So certainly for those of you that live in Ward 3, if there's things that you've really noticed, we'd love to hear from you. As it is a living document, we'd love to grow it with more perspectives.
Thanks, David. Can everybody hear me out there? Good. I am Brad Field. I am a mayoral candidate this year in 2021. What a great evening to be out, beautiful weather. Thank you for having me tonight. I grew up in South Calgary, in a community very similar to this. We used to ride our bikes through Fish Creek Park as kids and out to Midnapore because it used to be out of town. It was a road trip, and collect our slushies and come home 12 hours later looking for a good meal. I've been blessed with three wonderful kids here, Mitch, Kyle, and Haley. They're now 30, 28, and 22, and they're the reason why I'm doing this, why I'm running for mayor, because it's about my kids, my potential grandkids, maybe someday some great-grandkids, and how we can build a city that will keep them here and want them to stay here, raise their families, and build a career here in the city of Calgary. So I'm super excited about being here tonight. I was born an entrepreneur. I started my first business right here in Calgary at age 12. I was incorporated with the province of Alberta and had a commercial bank account, and I did it because you could. You could do things here in the city of Calgary. We're a place of opportunity, and we want to get back to that again. I bought my first real estate here in Calgary as a teenager. I went on to buy, build, and sell businesses around the world in different jurisdictions, different countries, everything from fire suppression to heavy equipment repair to healthcare, real estate, of course. And it's created a place, an environment where I get to meet some really neat people from different countries around the world. But I have to say, at the end of the day, Calgary's my home. As much as I've been able to travel the world and do businesses in different parts of the world, I always call Calgary home. We are a kick-ass city. I love being here. I want to stay here my whole life. I'm looking to lead this city. I'm looking to rebuild our business environment where jobs and businesses can flourish again here in the city of Calgary. I want to bring back that cohesive teamwork atmosphere to City Council that we've been missing. And most of all, I want to deliver good, affordable, frontline services to the city's citizens of Calgary at an affordable price. We've got the services down pat. I very rarely hear from the thousands of Calgarians that I've spoken to any complaints about services. What we're challenged with is what we pay for them via property taxes and user fees. So we can change that. I'm looking at incorporating priority-based budgeting. Instead of going back to Calgarians every year looking for more tax dollars, we'll start out with a designated amount of money and prioritize with citizen input. And when the money runs out, we stop spending. I will not look at another Calgarian in the eye and ask for a single more in tax dollars until we look internally and how we spend it here in the city of Calgary. I've been a vendor with the city of Calgary for over 25 years. I see the waste on a daily basis. I'm telling you now, we don't have a revenue issue, we have a spending issue here in the city of Calgary. I'm looking to correct that. Thank you again for having me tonight. Beautiful evening. Thank you to all the candidates that are also here. It's fantastic. I've met so many nice people on the campaign trail. Thank you again. Have a great evening.
Jeromy Farkas is next.
Great, thank you. Just a quick round of applause to our Ward 3 community associations. Thank you so much for hosting us. What an incredible opportunity to be here. 4 years ago, when I chose to run for City Council, I never thought that I would be here in a place like this. It's been such an incredible opportunity to be able to serve as one of the youngest city councilors ever elected, and it's been an incredible experience. I think over the past several years, I have a strong record, one of asking City Council to say yes. Yes to financial responsibility, yes to opportunity, and yes to addressing crime and safety. And that's the area that I want to focus if I have the privilege of being elected your mayor. Firstly, on responsible spending. I think that the city needs to learn the lesson that a lot of businesses and families have gone through. We need to make sure that we're living within our means and making ends meet, perhaps doing more of the same or even more with less. I think that it's incredibly unreasonable that a typical residential homeowner has had to pay practically a doubling on their property taxes over the past 10 years. At the same time as we see things like generous wage increases, including things like the golden pension for city councilors. There's going to be a lot of candidates who tell you a lot of the same things. So I think for you as the voters, your question's going to be, who do you think you can count on? Who can you trust to follow through, and who keeps your promises? And for me, for example, turning down that city council golden pension, it was by far one of the most costly decisions I've ever made, not just financially, but also politically, because it set me on a crash, I'd say collision course with an out-of-touch establishment that in so many ways has put its own interests ahead of those of everyday Calgarians. Next area of focus is around crime, safety, and security. I think that it is unreasonable to see members of council pushing this defund the police agenda. I am strongly opposed to that. I advocate for defending our police officers, for standing up strongly in support of our essential services. That doesn't mean giving, say, our police departments a blank check, but it means ensuring that they have the resources that they need to be able to keep Calgarians safe each and every single day. Next, around transparency, inclusion, and better incorporating the feedback of the public in decisions that are being made. I think that it's shameful that this city council has more secret meetings, more closed-door meetings than, say, Edmonton, than Vancouver, than Ottawa, than Toronto combined. I think that that's shameful because you as the taxpayer deserve to know how your money is being spent. So that's me in a nutshell. I'm born and raised here in Calgary. I'm just a kid from East Calgary and Dover. I never once forgot where I came from. I never once forgot that I work for you and not the other way around. You pay my salary, and I think I have a proven record of actually standing up for my constituents. Not just when it's been easy to do so, but frankly when it's been tough to do so. And I think that this election that is coming upon us, it's a once-in-a-generation opportunity for change. I think that this election is really about change versus more of the same. Are we happy with the cuts to our essential services? Are we happy that areas like Ward 3 don't have a gathering place, that we can't actually meet in a venue like many other wards can? Are we happy that areas like this have been neglected in terms of the essential services that you need, the recreation services that you need? I don't think we are. I think Calgarians deserve better and they're demanding better. So on October 18th, I am asking for your vote. I am asking for your support to be able to bring about real change. That's me, I'm Jeromy Farkas, and I'm asking for your vote to be Calgary's next mayor.
Next up is Grace Yan, please.
Yeah, it won't go any louder for a max.
Okay. Thank you, Ward 3, for holding this event, and Northern Hills Community Association. And I'm really excited to be here and talk to everybody. Of what I'm hearing right now in Calgary is change. We need change. And I appreciate that the councillors have done their best. And we now need to go in a different direction, a fresh vision, a fresh voice. And I know the biggest concerns in this area is transportation, is what I'm hearing. And the Green Line is a big topic for all of Calgarians. And I support infrastructure that makes sense.
I mean, we need transportation. Right now, we need to make sure the seniors are able to get around the city, and the youth also need transportation. We need effective and efficient transportation. Now, the Green Line is 20 kilometers, starting at Shepherd right now at 5.5 billion, which seems a little heavy. And yes, Calgarians deserve transparency. Where the money is going seems heavy for 20 kilometers, and it's going to take 6 years to build. And what I always say is, the issues that we have is not unique. We're not reinventing the wheel. We have the same issues as other places in the world. And I compare it to other successful cities, where Las Vegas is building a bullet train from Las Vegas to LA, which is 270 kilometers at 5.5 billion through a mountain. So, you know, I think that's what we have to think about is, yes, there's all these closed door meetings in council, 700 to be exact, and the public deserves to know where their money is going. So for me, transparency is important. We have to support arts and entertainment. Okay, we need a vibrant city. We need to fill those towers. 40% vacancy right now. We need to create the confidence to get the businesses back to the city. And as mayor, I am committed to the safety of Calgarians, to look out for your best interest. And really, a smarter city hall. So as mayor, I think we really need to engage the communities, for example, this one, and all the communities in Calgary, and really understand what they need. Okay, we need to listen, we need to hear. And I'm wearing orange today, even though my campaign colors is really white and gray, in recognition of the truth, reconciliation, and amends of the Indigenous community. So for the whole month of September, I will be wearing orange for that commitment. And I think as mayor, you know, my commitment is just to listen to Calgarians, take action that produce positive results. I'm Grace Yan. For my platform, please visit my website, graceyanformayor.com, and I'm around to answer any questions. Thank you very much.
Dean Hopkins is next.
I don't need it. Really? Yeah. I'm not here to give you empty promises and tell you that I can resolve all the issues we're having in our city. I'm here to tell you that my platform is based and focused on the people in our communities, in our city, in our neighborhoods. You check my website, you'll realize exactly where the direction I'm going. I'm no politician or a businessman who wheels and deals for personal financial gain. I'm a leader. I spent 30 years in military service, joined at 16, right through the ranks. Over that period, finished as a commissioned officer. I just wanted a peaceful life in a country where there was a city with good, kind people. I came to this city because of that reason. I fully believe there is a majority of good, kind people in our city. I understand we need legacy projects and building and infrastructure, but this will take a back seat. We've forgotten about the people in our city. I'm a working class man, born into a working class family, son of a coal miner, worked hard all my life for 57 years. The last 12 years I've worked amongst the working class of this city. I can totally empathize with all your frustrations. I volunteered in communities for 11 years and still do to this day. I see poverty in our neighborhoods, yet this council doesn't seem to actively be proactive in resolving a lot of issues we've got there. My platform will focus on helping people raise themselves up out of poverty, give them the opportunity to have a good life. You may wonder why you've never heard of me. I've been actively campaigning for 6 months with my awesome volunteers in all communities. I've run my campaign on a working man's pay packet. I have no financial benefactors. When I said to my wife 2 years ago, I need to do this, I do not see any leadership in our city. I have over 15 videos on YouTube. Check them out. I would say ask your candidates this as you're walking round after this. Ask them how they're going to resolve social injustice and inequality in our communities. How they're going to improve your quality of life over the next 4 years. I'm no visionary, and I can't see into the future, but I'll tell you exactly what I will do over the next 4 years should I be elected into public office. My platform, which covers 22 reforms, you'll see exactly the direction I would like our council to go. I'll be bringing leadership, a different style of leadership to our city, one that it's never seen before, to work with your councillor, to help him do better things in your communities, while following along with my manifesto, which is my platform. And I hold myself accountable in 4 years for the things that we have not accomplished. Notice I say we, not I. We. I'm only one vote in council. But if we don't have the right leadership, true leadership, to unite 14 councillors to get the best out of them and support their vision for their communities, then there really is no hope. Yeah, I'm just going to wrap it up. I will be a mayor who will be your voice in crisis and in celebration. There's 2 times in a person's life which are very important. The day you're born and the day you find out why you were born. You've all got a purpose. My purpose for the next 4 years is to support the councillors. Anyone who wants to find out more about me, please come over and have a chat. I got plenty of pizza. Anyway, thank you very much. That's all I'm going to say for now. And thank you for organising this today. My name's Dean Hopkins, and I'm running to become your mayor. Thank you.
I need the microphone. Next up is Teddy Ogbonna.
Thank you, David. Thank you so much, Northern Hills Community Association, for inviting me here. Last year, October 18, I did declare my intent to run for office of this great classic city that we are, and someone like me have called home. I was not born here. My country of origin is Nigeria. I decided to get into this race for one reason, that I felt that we needed a change at the city of at this classic city. We needed a change to overhaul the city. We needed a change to entirely change the current city councilors, all of them. That was one of the reasons why I declared my intent October 18. And reason being that I moved from Toronto to this place 2008, and I was watching combined council meeting every month until the current mayor got elected. I don't want to mention his name because I'm not a fan of him. I've been watching that prior to the pandemic, and all I have seen is just child's play, like you're in kindergarten school, bickering back and forth. And I have asked myself, how can we get things done in this city if we are having this kind of drama at the city hall? You have no good relationship with the provincial government. They want to have a relationship with the federal government. But the way government works here is that you got to, first of all, realize that the provincial government have overall jurisdiction over what you do at the municipal level. And then you could partner and do what you want to do with the federal government. That's how the system works here in this great country. My name is Ogbonna, and I'm running to be your next mayor of this great classic city. The vision of my campaign is to reduce taxes and provide tax incentives for businesses and homeowners. I am a development consultant. I've consulted with big governments in this great world, with the US government, with the British government, German government, French government. I did a lot of stuff with multilateral organizations, World Bank, UNDP, a little bit part of the global system. And my take, I strongly believe that this city, having called here home, is a classic world-class city. We do not need to revitalize. We do not need to change. We got to keep things as it is, and begin to support local businesses, bring back businesses here. I worked last in a real estate investment trust firm, 2019, and I've seen how businesses shrink, sublease, oil and gas companies, financial institutions sublease their spaces and laid off employees. And it's not just because of the pandemic. Let's get this fact, because the politicians are blaming everything on the pandemic. It's not. The tax hikes, I have owned the business here, owned the employees, we're getting way too much, shifting it back and forth. It was way through the roof. And all I can think of is, we are paying a lot in this great city. We don't like taxes, period. So the vision of my campaign is to reduce taxes for businesses in general, bring them back to this city, provide tax incentives for them. That is the vision of the campaign, from homeowners and businesses, and I'm capping it at 10% across the board. And one great thing in my campaign I'm doing as well is to excite the young ones, the Gen Zs, the millennials. I want them to be part of the city politics. I would like to see a lot of young folks. That's one of the reasons why I have introduced a shadow youth cabinet at the city hall if I get elected, and I'm being very optimistic. I want to have them. I don't want to be making decisions with the current councillors, potential councillors, that affects these young folks, and they're not part of that. I really found it not reasonable enough. So I'm excited to get a lot of young folks in this campaign. I'm big on inner city snow removal. I am big in the community relations we have, supporting and giving access to community relationships, community associations like Northern Hills for them to have more power than the developers in this city. I'm big on transit, but I'm expanding more on the BRT and as well on giving expanding on handicap access for senior citizens and people of all ages. Folks, check out my platform, tdfigure4.ca, and if you have any questions, I'm right over there at the back. Thank you very much, and I hope to be your next mayor come October 18, 2021.
Okay, I believe we're our last candidate, Shaoli Wang.
Thank you for inviting me here. My name is Shaoli Wang. I'm from China. I moved here in 2007 when we were in the economic boom. This year we are all surprised by the crowd of candidates, especially mayoral candidates. The reason is our annual tax hike. So I want to first tell you what is the magnitude of a tax hike. from 2003 to 2019, inflation was 32%. Our per capita residential municipal property tax increased 129%. That's over 4 times of inflation. That is the magnitude of tax hike. For business, per business property tax, municipal property tax increased 103%. That is the magnitude of our property tax hike. But the problem is, you may not know where those over-taxation go. Between 2011 and 2019, based on 2003 level, cities over-inflation and the population growth property tax accumulated 4.6 billion. Well, cities over-inflation and the population growth salary accumulated 4.8 billion. We actually own our city another 200 million property tax. After that, 4 times of inflation property tax hike. So that is why we see our garbage collecting changed from a weekly to bi-weekly. Snow shoveling issue stay intact. Bus routes got cancelled, got suspended. 2 months ago, we have 10 bus routes cancelled, suspended. How dare our city dare to push the Greenland? Now for Greenland, you heard about 4.5 billion, 5.5 billion, 5.5 billion for half, but you never know how much it's gonna cost. The first stage of Greenland is gonna cost 7.65 billion at best, at today's price tag. The full Greenland, the city was shy to even touch that topic. That will be 13.3 billion. I raised that issue to the city's Greenland Committee meeting on May 19th. None of those city councils dared to answer. You know how much that's gonna mean to our property tax for the first stage or not? Apart from provincial and federal fundings, our families here, per household, that means per household, 4,500 more property tax. Per business, 45,000. For the full Greenland, that would be 10,000 per household, more property tax, $100,000 more for business. So we can't afford that. So I stand firmly against Greenland. It's not because I don't like, I love LRT. Nobody can stand against the infrastructure, nobody. But we can't afford. Otherwise, we would have LRT everywhere to ban, to our airport, to Montreal University. But we can't afford. So I know Ward 3's position, special interest to the Greenland, but I hope we can be clear. We can't afford that. We can't leave that big project to our current city councils. They had blood-handedly bring us to this mess. None of them deserve another seat for our city council or mayor. Thank you very much. My name is Shaoli Wang. I hope we can do better and survive this crisis. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sorry, we do have one more speaker I didn't know was here. Geoff Rainey, who's also running for mayor, is our last candidate.
Can everyone hear me? Good? Awesome. You know what the awesome thing about democracy is? If you don't think you're being heard, you can go out, collect 100 signatures, open a bank account, pay your $500, and you got your name on the ballot. A chance to make a case for change. For the better, hopefully. Get invited to events like Drive Into Democracy. Introduce yourself. Thank you, by the way. To all the people who put this together, thank you so much. I know it can be challenging and frustrating during these highly restrictive times. Thank you for persisting. We appreciate it. My name is Geoff Rainey, and I have no idea what I'm doing for the most part. I'm not very technologically literate. I apologize for my lack of online presence. I never did learn to code yet. However, just because I'm not online does not mean I'm not social. Quite the opposite, actually. I love talking to people. I love getting to know them. I'm motivated. I have 2 little girls and a lovely wife. Recently, it seems like protecting them from name-calling, bullying, and discrimination is getting a little more challenging of a task, which is one of the things that I will address as mayor. I find these behaviors are mostly online or from Eastern politicians, but these destructive behaviors do bleed out and manifest in different ways. Lawn signs getting messed up, things like this. Unacceptable. I have a mom who lives in my basement, pretty much twinsies with Nenshi, and a father who just passed away from early onset dementia, exacerbated by the pandemic. Seniors, I got your back. I believe a society is judged on how we treat our vulnerable, not on how we protect our vulnerable. There's a big difference. I have been working in a subacute rehab facility as a licensed nurse since the fall of 2018. From what I see, I believe our healthcare system is in an extremely challenging position right now, due to the increase of our vulnerable populations, not necessarily the refusal of treatments. I believe municipally we should have an all hands on deck to support a shaky AHS system. Calgary should set the standard in municipal infection and prevention control education programs, health and wellness research and standards, and targeted community sanitation programs in areas of the cities that have outbreaks. I believe healthcare is getting looked at a purely medical side and neglecting the human on the other side of the medicine. The ethics, the freedom of choice piece. The most important piece in my mind is void in this whole good versus bad debate. I will set up an ethics committee to discuss how to protect our seniors and children, sandwich generation problems. In closing, I would like to urge everyone to think why there are 2,800 people running for mayor right now, when we could all just sit around, collect $2,000, play video games, and shop online. I think people want to help, and they see a lot of deficiencies. So please, to whoever is voted next mayor, please keep in mind, remember, a democracy is representation for all of us. My name's Geoff Rainey. Thank you for hearing me out. Appreciate it.
Thank you, and to my surprise, we actually have one more. Zaheed Ali Khan.
Hi, I'm Khan Zaheed Ali. Apparently I am nobody. But you can tell a real leader because they're standing listening to their opposition, and I thank you for that. I see at least 6 of them. Thank you. So the reason I'm here is, we all know Calgary has been going to a very devastating place since 1983, since the last of Colonel McLeod's bloodline stepped off. How do I know? Because I was poisoned by lead, severely poisoned, in Calgary, because I was born on Walter Road. So was my younger sister. Unfortunately, she's not standing here on the podium with me as she wished. There is a lot we need to change. We need people to step up and take accountability for what's been happening. There's too many payouts, too many land deals, too much people swept under the rug. Geez, sorry, this is going very dyslexically, but honest to God, if I was voted mayor, there's a lot we need to curb, like mental health is the first issue. That's my first issue to deal with on the podium. Mental health. To curb the mental health, we can fund the pediatricians. They know where the money can go. They know who, what, when, where, and why. All 5 W's. You want that? That's Gorbachev's 5-year plan. Let's get an ISP going. That's an internet service provider. With that, I mean, we can make money for children's benefits. Why not make transit free? An ISP might actually do that. You know, hubs, what do they call it? It's like Bitcoin. I couldn't even explain it. I don't know much about it. But there's so much senior care There's a 60-year gap there. Why are we not merging, like, what are we talking, preschools and senior care? There's funding we can take from that and put back into the lost or those that have fallen off the end of the tracks. Sorry, I'm unscripted, as you can tell, and I'm unfunded, as I don't really have nothing but my dog. And you good folks that are listening to me, there's too much that needs to be changed in Calgary. I'm just the voice standing up. If you want to know what I've done as a nobody, in 2012, I was on the SATE's, that's the SATE Student Board, and we got free bus passes for every student. SATE Legacy Fund. There are 2 signatures on that actually handed over $10 million. I signed it in 2012. I think it was 2018. It's nice to know my signatures on that too. So I'm Khan Zaheed Ali, and that's what I've done as a nobody. And also the free food pantry of Falconridge, which, I mean, I get phone calls and I drive and give people money all the time for this. Like, so I know there's a gap. There's a huge gap between rich and poor. There is no middle class anymore. We need to change this. We need to give back to the citizens. Thank you. I'm Khan Zaheed Ali.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you so much to everybody watching on our Facebook live stream or that'll watch it after the fact. Thank you so much for Livewire. Darren Krause coming out and covering this and also streaming it through their social media. I really appreciate all the candidates coming. Again, extend the invitation to anybody that wants a tour of Ward 3. We'll set that up for you. And good luck to everybody in the campaign. We are planning on doing this again for the Ward 8 councillor candidates with information to come soon. Thanks again. The candidates are welcome to stay and talk to anybody they'd like. And we just have to be out by 8 o'clock. Thanks again. Have a good night.